I think the Milio value is pretty high in this situation. There's a lot of stuns on the enemy team. And honestly, you know, we've been seeing a lot of Lucian Nami. I much prefer Lucian Milio. I think the synergy with Lucian Nami was like how good the burst damage was with like Mandate. Any minute.
Yeah. Well, no flash. And Jarvan is here, but Perfect's so low. I don't know. As we get the flash coming down, but Lucid doesn't care. It's First Blood going over to DK. That goes to Xiu. And now Kaz on the run has to flash himself. The big snip goes in. Of course, to give the Gwen, which was the response pick, First Blood on over. Here's the level 6. Perfect goes in. He's trying to take this one, actually, as he's just going to get solo killed. Perfect cannot. Wall's going to be held up for the calling. Both junglers are here. And in goes Kuz, trying to turn on to Lucid, who does drop the subjugate, but no flash for him just yet, so easily turned onto. As now aiming as well, gonna have to flash and dash away from this one, but he still gets sniped down by Duckdom, and BDD is still here. He's just gonna take Beryl for a walk down the lane. And Beryl has flash, but there's really no reason for him to flash until the very moment to force BDDs, and the follow flash comes. Actually looks like they might, as both of the bottom laners of KT are here at the same time, but Lucid's going in. He is going to commit for the Dragon at least. As Peter
could have definitely gone worse. Now Duckdom in trouble though.
Oh, is he? He's got a lot of teammates here. Peter is pretty low himself, but now Showmaker looking for the follow-up as engage Galio, not sure about that one. And now BDD coming in, the TP much faster this time from the Rumble, but he doesn't seem to have equalizer. So Perfect just comes here, and so does Xiu. And now a bunch of needles coming through. A very awkward fight from both teams. But now Peter and Duckdom talked it in the front line. And they get taken down. Showmaker very low, but the flash from Xiu to just assassinate the Jarvan. And that's another couple of kills for the Gwen.
They're so low. No equalizer available, though. Perfect looking, but he's so scary.
I mean, he is incredibly aggressive on this one. You can see the fans are...
And then Kuz gets just bursted by Xiu there.
Yeah, actually takes his head off and ends up being just 3 kills for DK. And two more of them went to Xiu. And now some vision here onto the Gwen. We're going to get the taunt down. There's the knock-up from the Jarvan, but we got 3 people in here keeping Xiu around. This is going to be a big shutdown for whoever gets it. It goes over to Kuz, who is going to...
not really in a position to capitalize on that advantage. Looks like we're just going to get creative objectives.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fine, especially when the first couple of Drakes are Infernal and Hextech. You just know that your chances of getting a fantastic soul are decreased.
So you're leaned against each other early on. So he's having a fun time.
Yeah. Especially with Perfect in the position he's in. Does have the first item, as you mentioned, but not the greatest. This is going to be the turret to go down. They're actually looking for the kill here as well, as in comes Kuz, but just for peel, essentially, not really sticking around very long. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. The bigger issue would have been if they fought over it and died, because you're risking a lot, actually, because the...
Inspiring. Like, I feel like Peter.
Yeah, he's in a really awkward spot here. He is Braum with Flash available, though, and Smite. He is going to get Kuz to block, and he throws his ult in, and now the counter engage comes in. The Q from the Melio not really able to stop the R. And that just gets the flash here out of Lucid. But now the follow-up from Perfect, looking to get in there with his own flash, but kind of another awkward engage. That's really been... we do have Realm Warp, but BDD is here already. Kuz here with his Smite available. A lot of bouncing, and the equalizer to come down. And now the turn onto this Otacon, and it's just given over. And wait, what was that?
Was that
I think so. Did someone just hit the Mega Cone?
I think he went for the steal.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was very late, though. Maybe he didn't have vision. I don't know. Just Lethality Varus.
Duckdom is about to hit mana immune as well.
Yeah.
So, like, KT are very strong. They're about to get stronger.
Yeah, and they're going to go for a fight right now. Not sure about the timing here, as now Kuz going to go in. He's quite low, gets burst down by aiming. And now Peter and the gang trying to get out. Oh, no! His BDD in the middle of it, just going to flash to his Realm Warp and go straight into Xiu's open arms as he just takes down BDD, gets the shutdown as well. Talking about weird fights, we're just bouncing all over the place. Even Jonas Strong can't keep up.
They're going to wait now. They're going to try and fight them off this Baron. I don't think they really have a choice. There are some low health bars.
Yeah, Showmaker isn't here yet either. No flash, or no TP, no ults as well. She's taking a decent amount of damage, and now Perfect is going to try to get Lucid, but gets taken out.
They're so low. The red buff is giving a bit of sustain. It's not a ton. A lot of cooldowns have been burnt from D+. Maybe they can reapproach.
There's no equalizer, so Perfect just kind of shooting at them with some rockets. We get the engage from Kaz as he's just going to flag and drag away. That was onto a Gwen. And now Xiu, he's got the Zhonya's, as he will go Golden, but he has to flash away as well. And now a bit of damage going in on a barrel, and he just gets blown away. And now a big taunt does come in, but the damage follow-up is not quite there. And Xiu also going to get burst to smithereens. Tavares doing insane amounts of damage, and so is BDD to everybody who walks up to him. So 2 kills to KT, and they'll get the Dragon. He's
really lost a lot of power for D+ there. Now moving on to this, there is a Mega Comb for... Oh, the pillar!
Guys, no! Not like this! Oh, he just got dunked on by Lucid! And now you see DK, they want to fight this one. He just chomps Peter in the face. Lucid taking a, okay. Yeah, BDD is just insanely strong
they're knocked
right now.
Wait, you think KT have the advantage? Oh no.
Yes,
oh,
yes
no.
I do.
Oh no.
Well, they're going to go in on a Showmaker here as he is isolated and burnt to a crisp by more than just fire.
Yep, good Realm War play, finding a pick there. It's now 4v5. Kuz is looking for an angle.
Yeah, he likes to go for the Scuttle Crab instead, and it just gets smited away. So now he's just going to get over the wall to his team, as now Xiu going in. He's getting huge value with the needles. Perfect as everybody scrambles. And going in on the BDD now, 3v1. He is running so fast, trying to get to the disengage cone. He's not going to get there. And actually, Lucid kind of engages with it as Duckdom hit it. A very messy situation, and KT are not getting the good part of it. As Xiu, he did so much damage in this fight, and he will get the final kill here as well. Looks like Kuz and Perfect get out.
Position where they're kind of corralled in by D+. Xiu just gets so much value, and BDD is very split. He tries to move in to help, but then they just run him down. Ult him, his resistances get shredded, and he just doesn't have enough damage.
But aiming is really strong. We saw that Lucid quite strong himself. Showmaker kind of feels like he's just playing bodyguard in this game.
BDD and Xiu are both just pushing on the sides, but Xiu kills towers so much quicker. And speed of killing towers, Lucid and aiming also do that really fast. So a lot of pressure being put down here. KT might just have to give up their mid inhibitor. And a TP comes back. He got that top tier too, but now moving in to defend. They find an angle here when D+ are kind of inside of the base walls. That's where they could find a good fight, but D+ respect that, back away. They wait for Xiu to get some pressure here. And aiming can walk up and hit the inhibitor.
They need a wave. You see Xiu sticking around, just keeping the bottom ones buffed, just to put the pressure on that makes KT rotate down. And so they do move in and take the inhibitor. It's just the mid inhibitor. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely DK getting a pretty large gold lead at this point in time.
Yeah, 5,000 gold ahead now. We've had it's never been more than 2,000 so far this game really, and now with that Baron with his big gold lead really pushing it ahead. Xiu getting chunked a little bit, but Peter taking a lot of damage in return. No shield now.
Yeah, no door, and yeah, they're just able to burst him down. Perfect again. He's got his equalizer, but there's no really good spot to use it in. Aiming does take a huge amount of damage, but just dashes over the equalizer. Xiu and Showmaker still in there, wants to get that kill on a Perfect, and he will. He gets in, and he gets out, and ooh, nice interrupt there from Kuz. Gonna save Duckdom's life, and that means that maybe Showmaker in a rough spot, as it looks like DK do not want to continue fighting this, but now BDD is making the fight happen as they go in. They're looking for more. The flash from Kuz, and makes a couple more kills. And of course, this game had to go this way. Xiu in the mist, and BDD steps in. Kuz takes the kill. It's an ace.
It's basically like you have Zhonya's.
Did BDD die to the dragon? No way, right?
No,
okay.
He did finish it. But it's like, you have massive leads, but the AD carry lead it just doesn't feel real. I mean, it's obviously aiming has expensive crit items, but Duckdom's still doing so much. I think that's the one lane where the gold lead doesn't really represent the impact they're having right now, but yeah. Oh!
Ooh, the pillar and the calling does quite a lot. Looks like Peter not able to get on over there. Now we got the engage though. Cuz goes in, goes out. And BDD is still pushing. He is not joining this fight yet. He's looking for an angle maybe with this TP, but they're stopping backs and he's just pushing the base. Lucid gonna get caught out here.
Showmaker doesn't have TP as well.
Oh, he might just look to try to end the game if nobody can back. It's not like they have Baron empowered recalls.
The Equalizer stopping them.
Nobody can back.
They're just chasing them down. What a play!
BDD's just gonna end the game. Unless you can somehow just flash on over and run to him.
Wait, they tried to TP, but it got cancelled. The TP got cancelled.
It doesn't work. We got the flash coming in from Siu as he realm warps in with BDD. He ends the game. Game 1 goes to KT.
What a play! Positive about this. Yeah, I think D+ pretty happy with how things have panned out. I will say that Jax doesn't feel too great into the Yorick, even though obviously Yorick is a lot about his shovel and he can block that auto attack. We've seen a lot of lane matchups go in favor of the Yorick, and later on it's a bit of a pain.
Very low Siu. And
seconds on Counter-Strike.
Yeah. So he's gonna have that. But already, baits it out, and now he's just Omega dead. Yep, nowhere for him to go. And it's like the Grubs are gonna go over here to DK. And KT will trade with the Dragon. So no Grubs for the Yorick. But especially with Kalista Renata top, it's not like KT had much of a choice. So they're just gonna take the objective that they can at this point. And for, you know, a couple of lanes that weren't very good, mid's going well for BDD. And also DuckDom and Peter are in a lane swap. We do have Cuz here. No ult, but he's got flash. Perfect. A bit tanky, but can Cuz get here on time? Perfect gonna try to flash on in as now Cuz gets here. And the phase call does come down as Beryl throws himself in. Bit of extra damage goes in on the Cuz, but not gonna stick around for a second dive. Nice dive here from DK.
Look, some dives are easy, some dives are hard. Diving with Kalista, Renata, Sejuani, that is like the easiest dive possible with bailout and Kalista ult.
Well, the hostile takeover isn't going to hit anything. They're still going for the dive as Beryl's tanking this one up because it takes a long time to be taken out, but they still get it done. So 2 kills.
I feel like it's just been cat and mouse this game where like KT been swapping and
Showmaker
chasing them.
Yeah, that's a Rakan. That is a targeted charm essentially. And even Cuz was here with ult and
flash. To pick up some plates here as well. About 5 seconds left, we'll get another.
Peter's still stopping the back of Siu right now.
Yeah,
finally he's going to get it off. It's Chemtexol again!
I have no excuses.
I'm not going to... Yeah, I'm not going to...
You see Lucid taking this scuttle. Will they contest? Ult about to be up from Peter.
Yeah, Lucid really wants the Scuttle Crab. Yeah. So he didn't... Yeah. That was weird. But very on theme for this series, I'd say. Mid lane turret is going to go down here. KT opening up a pretty huge lead this early in the game. 15 minutes in, already 3,500 gold. And yes, Siu is going to get this top turret, but Perfect got the bottom one. So we're just trading there.
Yep.
KT are getting everything else.
Like, that's just... It was a good vid, though, right?
Yeah, it was nice. I didn't see him do any spins, though, so I'm a little bit disappointed. As now, little engaged, but Renata is going to get a lot of value. Tons of damage into Lucid, though, as he is going to finally go down, as Siu does have a nice angle up there on the top side, but he's alone. And everybody's zoned away by Cuz. As Showmaker and Aiming not really able to join the fight. Cuz wants a bit more BDD as well. Going to get the flash at a Showmaker for just his ult, although Cuz has to get away as well. Little spinorama there from Showmaker to get out, but lots of damage done here to D+Kia, and KT will take this objective.
It was such a strange start to the play because it felt like it was just DuckDom flexing how much damage he could do. He was just doing so much damage, and then it turned into a play off the back of that. And the thing is, because he had done... Yeah, I feel like you're in such a rough position now. But anyway, well, Cleanse now down for DuckDom, so that's a big cooldown unavailable.
Oh, flash on him. Perfect in a bit of trouble. He's going to try to flash away. Maiden is doing a bit of damage. The ghouls as well. No counter-strike for now, but he gets it back and just bops him on the head. Siu's got TP as well. They're just going to start this one up.
Lucid has a Mega Cone, but he's already half HP. This feels so bad. You got a solo kill, and you lose Adakan for it.
It's just gone.
Only Siu has a level advantage on D+.
little trap Renata, as Kuz is going very deep for this one, and he's going to just die. Not sure about that. It's now BDD trying to get away here. He doesn't have the flash, so he's not quite able to get in. The peel is there, and a big root comes in from Duckdom.
You guys can just go Dragon, by the way. They don't have a jungler.
Or we're just going to flash on in and fight more, because that's what we do. Duckdom is just playing like an insane person, still has his ult, going in for the kill on a Lucid as he gets the call back and picks up the kill himself. Showmaker trying to do a bit of damage to Perfect, but they're all super low. The charm comes in, and now Siu is just gonna die. Meanwhile, on the right side, or on the left side rather, Aiming just dying for no reason to the two of them. He likes that item today.
He is pumping some damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's very far ahead of Showmaker.
Oh, she would have been in trouble.
He's gonna go in, and immediately flashes out, and now BDD finds the angle, and that's gonna get a hostile takeover here. This time Kuz in a much better position. Big knockups both ways, but guess who's ahead? It's KT Rolster, and they follow up on this one too. As one by one the dominoes fall, and the charm is going to hit as well. KT might just end the game here.
Huge team fight for KT. They find the kills. Gonna take this one to a 2-0. Long death timers. No way D+ are up in time to defend. And KT, we had a close series in the tiebreaker. This one not looking to be that way. Game one was a lot of back and forth, but this one, KT looking a lot more dominant.
Very dominant game here to KT from beginning to end, and they'll finish it off with a clean ace in the final team fights. From the red side, with a kind of wonky draft, is going to be locked, and we're going to get BDD's Cassiopeia. I can't remember the last time he's played this champ.
So much scaling coming out here in this game. It feels like, you know, the scaling was opted into.
His overall win rate on Cassiopeia is also 20%. He is 1-4. He's only played it 5 times. Obviously, it's something that doesn't fit that I'm better at, so he just kind of went for the Cassio. This makes sense. I mean, again, I feel like he's really playing well today. I'm just kidding. So anyway, about Busan, really looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. Lucid just gonna face check into where he knew Cassiopeia was. But he is Kindred, and he will live. The ult comes down, and the laser gets him. The Drake still goes over to KT, but that's a couple of kills now over to DK. Perfect does not have his flash. It's a third Chemtech soul in a row. And Perfect, very tanky, but I think eventually he just dies. And so 3 kills to DK, not half bad.
Aiming, whoa!
Aiming, skanking over the wall. He picked up, I think, 2 or maybe 3 stacks. Here comes Sion, and now Barrel's dead. So not really sure about that play, but
5.
They don't have their Nautilus. It's gone. And now the ult comes down, and the Orin is just stuck on the Miasma. Finally gets out, just barely, as the stun doesn't come down. And now the counter ult does come down. Only hits the Sion.
Nice dodge.
Yep, good dodge. Bit of damage here from Aiming. He's just collecting stacks. There's some more stacks. And yeah, nobody's actually fighting. Maybe able to go for Perfect though, as he is trying to run, but he's not quite able to run fast enough. So the kill goes to Aiming, actually.
Okay, I mean, if we have to fight now.
Yeah. Not sure about that. Peril takes a big chunk already. Perfect, though, is getting chunked massively. Might have to flash out of this one as he goes in first, and then he goes out. Siu gonna come down here, but the smite should go. Yes, it will. Over to KT. Kuz throws down his circle, but a lot of low health bars here on the side of KT. BDD at least gets the 1 kill, but they have to abandon ship. It looks like Perfect might just be the sacrifice again. The Showmaker picks up yet another kill. Looking for a bit more backing on the ward right here is Duckdom. As, yeah, he might just die. 1 clap does it, and the flash over the wall, and Lucid picks up the kill. Still no stack as he only has 1 so far. And now he gets popped over to the side of BDD. It's KT. They're turning this fight around about 2 minutes later, continuing to go in onto Siu, who is desperately trying to get away. And might just be able to, Kuz continuing to go in. BDD still here, and now with the combo coming down, looks like Shu is just dead. And they even give that kill over to BDD.
You know, I was ready to flame Docdown for that recall, but it was all a bait, allegedly. Perhaps,
excellent play.
Maybe. Yes, totally, surely. Feature strength go over to D+. Oh no, they're looking for Showmaker.
Uh-oh.
He's got it.
Nice flash. There it is. Flash comes in, and the Sentinel ult over the top keeps him alive. Looks like he was going to live anyway, but no damage really comes in. Now aiming, walking down very fast, and Barrel's going to hook him in here. Not sure about that one, Barrel, as now he is being taken for a walk, and the ult comes down, and is aiming! Aiming looks straight into the eyes of the snake and gets punished for it, and Showmaker gets baited. He's got 3 kills and 0 deaths, and Duckdom collects huge amounts of cash money.
The MVP of the play, Docdom, who set it all up with his recall, comes back to get the kill. No, but all seriousness,
Hours later.
BDD is so locked in to go into Busan, just slithering about on the sand.
And it looks like we are going to have the Alistair piloting this one. Not going to do any missing maneuvers here. As now, Shiu goes in and he just kind of dies. No follow-up. Gets burnt down. And Perfect is also getting burnt down, giving a bunch of stacks over to the Smolder.
He has hit his threshold, aiming very scary. And how the person I put the most emphasis on stack-wise, the person I said really needed to have stacks. Aiming is pretty strong at least, but it's like it's Smolder or bust at this point.
You got the Scion flank. And he's going to start running the opposite way. Nice little knock up here on Ashiu, who once again is just being bullied. So much damage coming down onto him already. At least he's able to get his ult off. He's in the Kindred, but Peter's in the back line, knocking everybody up. And now the follow-up comes in from KT. Lucid is dead. And Perfect just chases them down.
Already struggling to cut through these health bars.
Yeah. Cassiopeia, Xin Zhao, Alistair, Scion. It's basically only Senna who doesn't get a huge amount of value from the Soul.
Oh,
and now they're hitting in mid! Their root's gonna come down and aiming just dies for free! KT! They're going up, up, up on this roller coaster, and I don't see any signs of coming down yet.
No one was ready to call a 3-0.
This is gonna...
Time gonna get a good fight.
It's pretty rough to do so. You see that even BDD isn't doing damage to the Baron. They're just allowing Duckdom to chip away at it.
Yeah, they're pulling off. Lucid has a decent angle. Oh, the heal engage.
Heal engage almost creates some more action. We've had a lot, actually, for a game that has so much scaling. It's just the way it's going in this series. Drafts don't matter sometimes. When it's DKKT.
Well, it's because they're both scaling, so they're both like, hey, we can't let them scale.
They're doing the Baron.
Oh, this is...
Guys.
Just send it, send it, send it, send it. You gotta send it, you gotta send it.
Nope, they're backing away. They're turning onto the TP. This is a Scion.
Just kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him.
Yeah, they might be able to. He's gonna ult out of the stun, and he is supremely tanky.
Yeah, they do no damage.
And now Shiu is taking a lot more on the left side here. He might be able to get his ult off, which does a decent amount, but you can see the rest of DK is just running away. And now that Miasma is down, Shiu didn't even have flash. The follow-up from Peter is huge. It is going to keep them around. Big ult comes through from Barrel, and now you've got them in place. At least the one kill does go their way. Nice look away from Lucid, but that is going to be the ult down from the Kindred, the ult bot. The follow-up hook from Barrel is big, but it's onto a Scion, and that is not going to be big at all. And now the follow-up here on the Lucid. Look at the range right now from the Senna.
Able to survive and take the Baron, and now Elder in 2 minutes. You know,
he's just not put in that position that he was in the best of 3. And now, once again, Shiu's kind of the bait in the front line. Soren ult could be good. It's going to hit BDD at least. And now we have a bit of damage coming down. The Nautilus ult out of BDD as well is going to zone him away for quite a while. But now we got the flash in for Perfect. Trying to engage, and Barrel just going to be chopped away at as he gets taken down. Big stun onto 3. And now Peter going to go down. That's going to make this Chaos Storm quite large. And KT is going to dodge all that and just run away. Elder Drake is now live. And the burn is beginning to hurt here from the side of aiming. That's a huge one. And you do see some healing does come in from Duckdom, but DK now positioned here on this objective.
Getting a decent amount of poke, but the problem is there's so much sustain from KT. Shiu needs to be so careful.
Yeah, is going to get slowed up there at the end there as well. Just barely gets away.
Center sustain is getting so much work done here. Oh, Lucid, do not.
Uh-oh. We got the angle, the Mega Cone, and he gets ulted and taken down. A bit of damage does come out from aiming and Showmaker. They've still got mana. But the sustain that you mentioned and blue buff here for KT, BDD is going to get out of the stun. Pretty important. And now we got the wraparound. We got the wraparound once again. He's not going to hit anything except the wall. And he should be going down here. So now KT in a weird spot. The Elder spawned while KT had the Baron. And now engaging onto the Ornn. That's a good one from Peter. Finds the front line. And Lucy going to be forced to ult early. Aiming, trying to run out of the ult. He's going to be pulled out of the stun, but still aiming goes down. And now it seems like the dominoes will fall again as 4 members go down for DK. KT looking to push in towards Showmaker. Not even going to look at that Elder Dragon. And aiming did 8k damage, and it still didn't matter.
Still not enough AK damage. Half a perfect health bar apparently. KT able to hold on strong. Gonna finish this one with a 3-0 and start their run through the gauntlet towards Busan.
Yeah, I mean, KT looking like a very scary team after this one. Not sure how much of it was their great play and DK's not so great play, but it's still a 3-0, a clean one. Nothing to see here going at KT Rolster. Their first spot in the gauntlet is secured. There you have it, guys. Well, we are going to hand it over to Deer for the interview translation right now.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Deer for the POM interview translation, joined by BDD on the side of KT Rolster, who just advanced to round 2 of 2025 Road to MSI. You defeated DK again and will move up to round 2. How do you feel? As of today, I knew that we might win, but it makes me even happier. I feel great about winning with a 3-0 score. And it was a rematch against DK after that tiebreaker 3 days ago. And the only difference was that today was a best of 5. So what did you mainly focus on? After winning the tiebreaker, we noticed that, DK would have a hard time, psychologically, really, like just their mindset. And I think we would just have to win through just getting better draft. And you are so amazing on Rise. In LCK rounds 1 and 2, you have an 8-win, 1-loss record with Rise. So with the much higher win rate with Rise now than before, how did you do it? I think Rise, when you just go with damage, he is just so strong. So I just felt like Rise has become such a good champion. And in game 1, we got an awesome backdoor. So let's take a look at that moment. We want to know how you made this call to go for the Nexus. We knew that the enemy didn't really have the edge here. I think they tried to rush, and maybe they panicked a little bit. And we were really good at defending. My teammates did a really good job fending them off. And they're all just chasing, and that was the right decision. Were you just sure that this was the right decision? No, at top, because it looked really good for us, the picture was just laid out, so I knew that this would be a really good opportunity. It's the end. It's over. Nice. Even after watching it again, what an amazing highlight. Let's give it up for BDD. And in game 2, against Azir, you picked Ahri. There were some crucial moments during team fights, and you landed your charms to win those team fights. How do you normally keep yourself composed in these moments? No, there's no secret to it. I think it's just that today we just had a really good game, and I felt like my skill shots were hitting really nicely. And in game 3, your choice was Casio. And she was last played by Quad in last year's Worlds, so what made you pick her? Because the enemy, we knew that they would pick Victor. And I ended up going for, a champion that may not be the best, out of all the options, but we were just looking for winning team fights in the end. And the enemy picked Victor and Smolder to create a high-value comp. But KT had the upper hand in team fights for the most part. So what was the main plan? I think in the middle of the game we had some mistakes, and the enemy definitely had high value, so it didn't make the game very easy. But I think we were just really thinking and talking about landing our combos, and that we could actually end up winning team fights through that. So what do you think the next round's key point will be? Nongshim, they don't have a very unique, outstanding color or anything like that, so I don't think it's going to be too different. And tomorrow, you will meet Nongshim for round 2. And they were actually cheering for you guys last week. And you have to win in order to head over to Busan. So would you like to say anything to Nongshim? No, because of Nongshim, we walked down a pretty rough path. And I will end them. And that's the end of the interview with BDD. Congratulations again, and back to the space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Yaya, as it is BDD getting the job done in a 3-0 sweep here of D+ Kia in the first round of the road to MSI. And as we take a look at the prediction results, no one saw it coming. We had some KT Predators here on the space, but no 3-0s.
I think this would have, this in spirit, this to me felt like a 3-1 game. That first game was basic. No, but like that first game was basically won.
Yeah.
But I also don't think with how these two teams look on the day, there's ever a world where DK actually wins the series. So I think 3-1 was the most close. It was clearly not a 3-2 series. The fact that it's 3-0 is kind of surprising as well. I think none of us expected that.
Cuz had the read that they learned a lot in that tiebreaker series.
He did say that.
They wanted to apply that into today's game, and I think it definitely worked out. And the mid lane was a bit of an issue here for this series, but there were otherwise big issues in team fights. It was an overall team coordination issue. Again, not ready to be excited for KT here, because there were a lot of things you could nitpick there. But at the same time, like D+, this was not a performance worthy of making it further into the road to MSI.
I mean, I am. I feel like I need to commit because I've been saying that curses aren't real. I am excited for KT. I think that this was great gameplay. The continued rise in form for both Perfect and Dokdam is also something that makes this team much harder to deal with, right? Like, when everyone on the team is performing, you can't really single out the way that you could previously. And yeah, on the DK side, both the world champs just continue to have... Showmaker was a little better this game, but Barrel was truly... I'd rather.
It was truly Barrel, yeah.
No, but not like, I know we meme it a lot, but we haven't even seen a lot of good Barrel this year. It's really kind of more reminiscent of what we saw in 2023.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with D+ as they move forward towards round 3 in the Rise group. Let's take a look at the POM votes here. Was it all just BD? No, one based vote here on the Korean cast, but otherwise a 12 to 13 BDD, 12 out of 13 BDD vote.
Peter is the new, you can get away with a winner at any point vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Peter or Duckdom would have been acceptable for me in this case. I feel like probably not Cuz or Perfect, unfortunately for them. But still, I'm glad